Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're here at the 2021 Chicago Auto Show. It's a little combo deal, moving in day and media day all together. So there is going to be a little noise, a little extra excitement, but you know what? We're bringing exciting vehicles to you, and guess what? I have one that many of you have been asking for. This is it. This is that refresh, updated 2022 Chevrolet Traverse. But before we get into this mid-size three-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. The Traverse. It's been around since 2009, if you could believe that. Been that go-to for, like I said, that mid-size SUV. If you're thinking Tahoe, the Chevrolet Tahoe is a full-size SUV. Now for 2022, they finally brought the changes that they've been promising. The reason why it's taken so long is obviously because of the pandemic situation, and this is the very first major auto show since the pandemic happened last year. But why don't we go ahead, the midsize SUV segment is really firing up, a lot of excitement, a lot of changes, obviously competition from the Kia Telluride, the Toyota Highlander, the Subaru Ascent, so on and so forth. Let's see if this update is worth the money. And is this the one you should be buying over a Telluride or any of the other competitors in that midsize SUV segment? Let's find out what's different on our 2022 Chevrolet Traverse. Right off the bat, it all starts at the front end of the business. Now, when we're looking at the front of the Traverse, things have definitely got a little sportier, even with this Premier trim, and it also kind of falls more in alignment with the Blazer, the Trailblazer, and the new updated Equinox. Starting at the front end of the business, you are going to get that new style LED lighting. It's a split level setup, so you have your LED daytime running lamps up top. Love the way they did the housing. Working your way down, that's where you're going to find your projector beam headlight. More exterior lighting, a little bit of gloss black, and I am going to have to zonk this because this is a fake vent area. But like I said, now you can see the family resemblance, that Chevy resemblance to the Blazer, to the Trailblazer, so on and so forth. I do like the way they brought this aluminum trim style from the corner all the way to meet that grille area, and it's white both top and bottom. Now, as we come across the new redesigned front end, you can see the direction that they went with the grille, and I really think that they hit the nail on the head. You're gonna have these nice, bright, shiny metal horizontal strips. We do have a forward-facing camera, and of course that iconic gold bow tie, the Chevrolet bow tie, and with a little bit of that brushed aluminum. And if you notice, look at the way the brushed aluminum kind of curves up, and then I like this second portion where it drops down. Really gives it a nice sporty style, but still has that classic Chevrolet look that many people love. Working your way down, you're gonna have flat black functionality. That's gonna help take a nice beating, but really definitely brought the front end of the business up to a 21st century style on the nose of this Traverse. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you'll see that nice slight bend. There is a rise in the center. Everything goes towards the windshield. And I like the way not only do you have this peak, but you have some other body lines, everything curving towards the A-pillars on the sides. Curving around the bend here, what are we working with wheel and tire stuff? So we have some new wheels for 2022. You're gonna get this multi-spoke machined aluminum with that metallic gray finish, looking really classy. And if you're wondering, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? This is a 20-inch wheel. I like the way there's a little bit of a rotation to it, and you're looking at 255 on the width and a 55 series sidewall. Our particular Premier has all-wheel drive. And if you're wondering, why do I have a white towel on my head? The AC is not working very good in here because I got all the doors open. So with our hard work, we got to wipe a little bit of that sweat off, but definitely looking good with the wheels. I also like the way they painted everything on the fenders. The fender flare, the top part, and around the opening. A lot of times they go flat black, looks clean. Coming down the rest of the side, you got color matched on the mirror caps. You can see our turn signals on the Premier trim. You are gonna get 360-degree cameras. Like the placement of the Traverse, maybe they should have dropped it down here. I'm actually gonna zonk it. I changed my mind. I recant where I was going. Traverse should be down here. It's a little high on the door, but I do like the chrome trim. Matches nicely with what's on the grille. We have chrome door handles, a little bit of that shiny bright metal all the way around the window frames, and the way they flare it out on the passenger door looks really great, especially as it comes into the rear pillar. And you'll notice how we have some nice shiny aluminum finish up top with a little bit of flat black, but the good news is the raised roof rails. Coming around to the rear, the changes don't stop. It's not just the front, it's also at the back. You're gonna have your LED taillights, all new design. Like the way it's got a nice smoke finish to it. There's some more of that aluminum style, a little bit of gloss black, and then you got that Chevy bow tie. Working our way down, Traverse badge, ours has all-wheel drive, and you do have functional exhaust. One on each side gives it that nice balanced look. Yeah, it's a vacuum style, but at least it's functional and it looks clean. And then of course you're gonna have all your tow capability underneath that panel, but why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Traverse. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on our Traverse. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Remember, there are some competitors in this segment that still have prop rods. What do we have underneath the hood of our Premier trim? So what you're looking at is gonna be that naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6. That's 310 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds, and it is mated to a 9-speed automatic. No CVT. If you don't want to go the V6 route, you can go 2-liter turbocharged inline 4 with 257 horsepower. But if you go with the V6, you are going to have a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, MPGs 17 in the city, 25 on the highway. Nice to see that naturally aspirated V6 power really falls in alignment with the Telluride, with the Highlander, and many of the other competitors. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the inside and see what new things are in store on our 2022 Traverse. We're in this 2022 Chevrolet Traverse. Lori right now is hurtling over a barrier. This is why she earns the big bucks and why she's the best in all of YouTube as a videographer. But I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, I'm liking this new Chevy Traverse. My great-great-great-great-grandfather had a Chevy. My great-great-grandfather had a Chevy. My grandfather had a Chevy. My dad had a Chevy. I want a Chevy. How much is this Chevy? Well, the great news is, depending on what trim you go with, entry at the L trim is $32,000. High Country is around $53,000. Let's see what you're getting when you go Premier trim. Let's go the door panels. You're gonna get nice soft touch material. I'm actually digging the trim around the door handles there. It's got a nice feel to it, something different, something not gloss black. The contrast stitching is very classy. Also, you'll notice you have a little bit of a Twinkie holder right underneath that middle portion up front. Smart engineering by the designers at Chevrolet. And then you're gonna have a large door pocket where you could easily get a bottle of Yoo-Hoo and Papadilla from Papa John's, just slide it right in there. And we have also the optional sound system, which is great as you're in your Traverse. Now, going with the bows from the dash, look what we got. Soft touch, perforated, nice touch on the material, a little bit of silver trim. You got your 8-inch, standard is a 7-inch, you got your 8-inch infotainment. I do like the way it's blended in very nicely. It is a touchscreen. Obviously, we're at the auto show. I can't just start the car up and show you the screen, but we'll show you more of this from Dimmitt Chevrolet and our press fleet vehicles. I think my favorite thing on the Traverse is the James Bond option. You ready for this? Boom. You have to hit it twice. Got felt lining. This is where you could hide that signed Jose Canseco ball. You know, your mom wanted you to give it back after they found out he got busted for roids. You kept it in here, nice and safe. Your balls won't get scratched in there, I promise. Neither will yours or Jose Canseco's signed ball. The silver trim, your start-stop button, ventilated seats and heated seats in our Premier trim, dual climate control with actual knobs, stitching is nice, USBs and a 12-volt and wireless charging. Of course, you're gonna have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto navigation. This is gonna control that 9-speed automatic, 2 cup holders, you got your mode selector switch, go into sport mode, you could go into off-road mode. We do have all-wheel drive, soft touch material up top. Open this bad boy, easily put a signed football from Tom Brady in there. Don't you have one? I have one. I'll put it in there for you. Seats, nice leather with the piping up top and in the middle. Stitching, electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And you have a sunroof. The only thing I don't like about the sunroof is this. What happens if I want to close the shade halfway? Nope. It's either all or none. And I don't like that. that's a zonk. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this 2022 Traverse. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, and to get to those seat controls, very, very easy with the lower lumbar. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of headroom, even with the sunroof. Steering wheel should have been refreshed with the exterior. It's kind of bland, to be honest with you, and very dated. It's got those Game Boy style buttons, which are okay because they don't get fingerprints. It's just I would like to see something a little bit more on the fresh side. You do have a heated steering wheel, tilting and telescoping steering wheel as well. And then the dash is a new 8-inch digital display. Obviously, like I said, we can't show it to you because we're inside. I do have the keys, but Chevrolet was like, don't start up the vehicle because we're inside the McCormick Place Convention Center. But here is your Chevy. It's the standard Chevy bow tie key fob. You do have remote start and all those other goodies in there. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row, because remember, we have the 8-inch digital display with analog tach and analog speedometer. But why don't we get in the mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna like this Traverse. All right, guys, mid-row time in the Chevy Traverse. And this is where your family is really gonna love you even more because there's plenty of room here. You do have sliding and reclining seats for the mid-row. Backs of the front seats have that leather, nice size pocket. Put a nice board game in there, maybe Monopoly, maybe the game of life, maybe even put a book or 2 in there. Have your kids learn something. That's always important. You do have your AC controls for the rear AC, heated seats but no ventilated seats, and that's gonna be a zonk. But you flipped it up, you got a home power source, 2 USBs. The great news is that they have a Twinkie storage area. You could easily put 10 Twinkies in there. Love my pocket on my side. I'm gonna keep a couple good books over here, obviously car books. Maybe like Go Like Hell. I love that book if you haven't seen that, about the 24 hours a Le Mans win with Shelby. But I got plenty of headroom. AC vents are in the ceiling, not my favorite location. You do have a power sliding rear sunroof, which is nice. Would be nicer if it was all one panoramic sunroof. We have the captain's chairs. They're on the thicker side. I've seen better, but I've seen worse as well. So we're not gonna zonk those. And there is a 3rd row, but I'm not gonna get back there at the auto show. It's just way too dark. Not enough room for us to really showcase what's going on. But we're gonna bring you this Chevy Traverse from Dimmitt Chevrolet and when we get our press suite vehicle. But you know what? Let's get to the cargo area because that's the most important part of any SUV. Let's go check it out. Guys, time to get in that cargo area. One last thing I wanted to point out before I open it is we're definitely gonna zonk this rear wiper. The glass would look stunning without this wiper here and have it tucked in with our low roof spoiler. But let's progress and see what else we got going on here. So you're gonna hit the button, nice electric assist on our Premier trim. When you get to the tail end of the business, you could see you got plenty of room for a couple strollers, actually probably more than a couple strollers. You could put about 4 strollers back there. You could put, I would say about 60 footballs, maybe 70 footballs, but what are we looking at when it comes to space? You're looking at basically 23 cubic feet of space with the seat up like that. You fold all the seats down, you're looking at 98.2 cubic feet of space. And I hope you like space because look at this. We're gonna send you to outer space. Storage out the yin yang, turn that into a nice cooler. That really would be a wonderful treat, especially when it comes to tailgating. And look, I like the way the lid stays open. So you got that nice plastic interior. After a day at the beach, you can put all the sandy junk in there, close it up. To put the seats down, easy peasy. Look at this, lemon squeezy, boom. Make yourself some lemonade, fold down the mid-row. You're looking at 98.2 cubic feet of space. We got USBs for the 3rd row, and you also have a little nacho tray with some melted cheese you could pour in that other container or use it as cup holders. Whatever you choose, that is your right. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and wrap up this Traverse from the Chicago Auto Show. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at the Chicago Auto Show. I definitely want to thank Kyle and everybody at Chevrolet for allowing Raity's Rides access to this vehicle. It really shows that Chevrolet is trying to make those refined changes to up the ante in their lineup, and this Traverse definitely shows the direction that they're going in. Let me know which midsize SUV you would go with. Does this trump the Telluride or possibly the Highlander or any of the other competitors? Let me know what you would go with in the comment section. If you want to keep seeing auto show reviews like this one here at the Chicago Auto Show, put that in the comment section as well. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you come back for more. That's what the subscribe button sounds like, by the way. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the first link, become a Raity's Rise Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Raity's Rise merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. I know she thinks I'm totally insane. And Lori, you are correct. But thank Lori for her hard work and putting up with all my nonsense, because I dish it out a lot. Thank you, Lori, for doing what you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.